Women's Intensive Well-Being Retreat on May 16th through the 19th in Peoria, Arizona. This retreat is dedicated to healing and empowering women. You'll dive deep into the intrapersonal healing, self-reflection, and self-care practices to transform your mind, body, and soul. For more information, call 844-378-2692 or visit www.drtanyagilbert.com.
With the affirmations to enjoy your day with. I am who masters me. I embody mastery. Naga's rising cavalry. The netters are my battery. I got my discipline. My source comes from within. Root chakra grounded in the cosmos so infinite. Nagas through my veins. Currencies flow through ligaments. Another netta instrument. Manifest me dividends. I'm on my mastery. Self-doubt is blasphemy. I'm the God I ask for me. Connected to my astral dream. I summon other beings. All facets of me. Magicians are my meaning. My purpose is the alchemy. I am numero uno, Raishi on my mind, lion's mane, big on sumo, Babalao aligned with Pluto. We kick back like we judo, karma licks back from Pluto. Heart on a feather, that represents my new growth. Trusting me is crucial, the God in me a do show. I'm bigger than your economics, politics, and Google. My omnipresence is the true show, all the world is stage. Allow my authentic self to be the sage. Fumigating parasites all up in my space. Cause I am who masters me. I embody mastery. I'm bigger than indoctrinations. Naga's rising cavalry. I am who masters me. I embody mastery. I'm bigger than the situation. Nettas are my battery. I am who masters me. I embody mastery. Naga's rising cavalry. The nettas are my battery.
You already know the vibes. It's Naga in the building. We're about to get started on this Incremental Science 13 and 14. Let's hope that the internet gods are are going to let me deal with the service correctly today. So let's get started on the Incremental Science class. Let me just share my screen real fast so I can get, I already got it pulled up, so it shouldn't be difficult today. All right. We got it pulled up, so let's get started on that. Let me just adjust the screen real quick, and we will get started. Okay. The Incremental Science 13 and 14. Let me not tally on. Let's just get right into it. How's everybody doing tonight? And we're going to discuss more on the point of what we were speaking on yesterday within how far the light energy from the source stretches and what that actually entails between spots. And I wanted to get more in depth with it. So, you know what I mean? I figured if I did it this way, it would explain a little bit better. So just imagine source energy, divine. You have singularities because the power of the divine is so compressed. This is where it is the most, like the most. It's just so much because it's so close to the source. So just think about like an eruption, like poof. So as it's so compiled here, it needs singularities to dish it out. So here you are, your first existence, boom. It spans and it spins. Kinda if you were weaving something and you have four strands that come from one direction, right? So this is just me giving you an idealistic of how compilance may take place. You have a vertical rotation, you have a horizontal rotation. A vertical rotation, a horizontal rotation, vertical rotation, horizontal rotation. This is how energy is coming, moving forward. This is why we have subsequent values of different creations from the aspect of where the energy is coming from. The increment value that breaks off into different spots. You'll have large or minor creation points. You have major creation.
Well, to the value of understanding the minor and the major creation points, it is based off of the particular force of divine energy coming from the source, and that in itself is creating a wave pulse. So that wave pulse is going horizontal and it's going hold on one second. Dang. It is horizontal and vertical wave points, and those wave points are creating creations within indifference. So a wave, as it goes up and down, or how it's actually making this circular motion through the universe, it is creating out of its own force and polarities from the main attribute that the from the main post that the divine is sitting. So it's like as these rays are pushing out, the actual they're cracking the universe sheet in itself. So in between two sheets is the ether. So it's literally breaking that and creating what we call black holes or wombs. And that's why they call the first creations, because they were the creations to bind those two together. So it was a waypoint to go from where that source of energy was exploding from to connect those two sheets that we call the universe. So it's a lot of these sheets because the force is so magnanimous. It's just so large. You know what I mean? It's just so much of it that it creates black holes in every direction. The directions that it go is called L. So you have the L, which is a positive energy, because if you put let me see, one, two, three, four. If you put eight L's together, you make a cross. That's three-dimensional, right? So those are the L's. The negative polarities are the waves, and the waves is what the force creates the off of the dischargement of the divine energy. So as it's getting blown out, these waves, in between each wave, there's a level of creation, right? All right, so let's keep going.
These points are derivative in between how close and how far they are from the source. The compiler's energy, the compiler's energy of here will be light points, the light points and divine conjunctions, or the divine coalesce energy. This is where the energy actually comes and meets a point. There will be a singularity there. There will be a creation of a divine being or reflection of a divine being here. Not as superficial as the main source, but it will be a compilance of all divine energy that will manifest right here in this.
Why is it important that I'm speaking on the particular creation at each wave point or each conjunction or burst of divine energy? It's because if you remember, I think it was in incremental science, it might have been 10 or 9, when I was speaking about how the light, and we face away from the light. We face towards the light. I'm sorry. We face the light, and the light is coming towards us. Well, we're supposed to be absorbing that energy and shining that light through us as jewels. And as we shine the light through us, other creations, lesser or lower than us in dimensional aspect, can live off of that universal energy that's coming through as a divine. So each one of us in existence, we're supposed to be able to filter that energy out instead of being self-serving. We're more like absorbing the energy right now instead of shining it out. So this is the indifference when it comes to the value of understanding what's coming towards you and the way it's supposed to go. So we hold that energy to appear as if we are more than what we are here in this existence, when in fact, each and every one of us, the 8, 9 billion people on this planet, has creations that's unseen through the gateless gate that needs this divine energy, so then the universes can tally on. Let's continue.
This will do the same thing over and 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 over for infinity, because divine's energy is forever and it never stops. So when this coalesce energy, or the divine coalesce takes place, a singularity, the divine replication, and then a smaller dispersed of pure energy that is getting now filtered at this point. So you have to have two parts. Thus, this is why we deal with certain universal symbols. This is why the yin yang symbol, or balance, is so is such a heavy universal concept. It's not just to be balanced within yourself, it's because it's used to balance out divine energy. The concept itself speaks to the value, and the word was created through its actions over eons. But I wouldn't know how to explain balance other than to tell you the word balance. But to see that this is a counterweight, to see that the singularity is a counterweight to the divine reflection, shows that they deal in balance, because in each ending creation there's a reflection of divine energy and also a singularity, which describes balance. And it keeps going on. We're currently in our universe. You want to put us at the 7 mark, say we're universe 7 or whatever. Well, we're on that point of full coalesce. We're coming to that point right now where all the energy is like compiling right here. And you're getting ready to see not the actual, because this is how the energy is gonna, and then it's, so you may, who knows, you may see something you never seen in your life. You know what I'm saying? The divine reflection, which is going to feed energy to everybody in existence through their DNA capability. So depending on how your DNA responds to universal energy, how that energy may turn you on, indicative to the value of what you are. Thus, this is the reality of what they call the veil being lifted. And in each creation, it has happened. But these civilizations, or creation aspects, or universal transit lines, or however you want to look at the output of divine frequency from one point to another. Cause see, how would you even scale that in a human ratio? Like I couldn't scale this in a human ratio. Like, just to show you, this is me being egoic in some aspect.
You know, deeper than that understanding, particularly, this has everything to do with, um, hold on. Okay, look, so let me just go back here real quick. Just go back here for a second.
How would you even scale that in a human ratio? Like, I couldn't scale this in a human ratio. Like, just to.
Okay, so you got to understand, when I'm talking about creations, right? They're when we speak on creations, these are not people we're speaking about. That's how egoic the mind of man is. Man thinks when a creation is made, the creation itself is speaking towards the existence of man, and that's not even true. We're like some of the last creations, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to think larger than that. You got to think about, quasars. You got to think about what we call Milky Ways, universes. You got to think about planetary bodies, you know what I mean? Minerals, rocks, energy, different frequencies of energy, hot, cold, things that are cold that burn as hot, things that are hot that burn as cold. You know what I'm saying? They have so many different formats of energy that are created out of this motion in itself. So as the energies are flying through the universe, they're creating aspects of existence that are way, way larger than the understanding of our mind's capability to fathom. So with that being said, when we speak about creations, we are speaking about the universal pulses that create the value of different creative aspects that allow other things to come into existence.
Show you this is me being egoic in some aspect, but for the most part, the incremency of human understanding to this wouldn't even be a minuscule on the value. It wouldn't even be like I couldn't paint a earth like right here and all the people. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't hold weight to the grander idea of what this really explains that takes place. Because if you was to really see it in that aspect, it would have to be like if I had to explain to you in some way to make you understand, like the sun would be like there somewhere, like on the end of this, somewhere like that, and then it'll be like the planets and all that, and this will be moving. You know what I'm saying? Like that'll be
And ultimately, that's literally in between an increment. So our universe, how large it is and how we see it as large in size, it doesn't even fit in between one of those notches. It's like a speck in one of those notches as far as existence. So the creational aspect is really unbeknownst to us. We're incapable of being able to see all the creations because different creations are built in the value of its pretense or its placement. So that would entail, even like how we use 2 arms, 2 legs, 5 fingers, eyes, nose, mouth, tongue, all these things to experience what this existence is. Other increments and spots are creating things in different aspects that are probably unbeknownst to our understanding. So we don't get a chance to really see these things, but they are within the understanding of creation. And let me add this: as you see the description on the screen, you see how it starts to formulate something of the ideal of a DNA strand because it's entailing a whole body. So that's the force of the energy stretching out as far as it has to go. You know what I mean? So whether or not we're able to procure the understanding of the value of what the universe is actually showing us, it is existence in its whole full totality. And that speaks to the value of the same way we're created. Like they say, we're created in the image. So the images of the universe's creation is formulated in the body. It's like it all coalesced down to give us an opportunity to exist on different scales in different regions and different incremencies.
that'll be that. You know what I'm saying? Like so we would be like nowhere in this understanding of greatness. But to to focus on the value of the greatness of energy, this is a good way to scale it because you don't know. So it's so vast. The universal energy is so vast. There's no way to break that down or put that into a circumference of mathematical values and books and scales and classes. Like in order for you just to like separate the value from what's taking place to you having to be able to comprehend the massive amount of opportunity that you have to deal with, universal principle, divine guidance, is to show you that you're that small somewhere lost in that under my finger to a vast amount of energy that is being propagated all the time, every day, nonstop, for eons. You know what I'm saying? So for someone that's lost under my finger at this point right here, well, that universe is lost under my finger. So you wouldn't be found wherever we are under my finger here in the aspect. To say that we govern or have the best understanding for everything that's taking place should show you the stupidity of the culture. At the end of the day, like why would I even have? It's like looking at a 100-foot wave coming at you. What are you gonna run? What are you gonna take off at that point? I'm out of here. Where you going? You going, B? Come here. You might as well just ride that out. You ain't gonna get nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like to understand, to try to have it understood, is just to sit back and look at it for what it is. Once I sit back and I say, wow, all creation, the creator of all creation creates everything. So then I try to imagine everything that I know or think of everything that I know and then go study more things that you can know and still give that respect back to the fact that it was created by a divine pretense. You get overwhelmed. You get so overwhelmed. What anybody else is telling you about anything don't even matter no more because you understand the energy is just around you. So best thing for me to do is sit still and absorb what's around me. I ain't gonna hold y'all, but you already know the vibes. Naga, incremental science 13. Know that the divine's pretense is massive. Massive. And the only reason why we put the most high or divine divinity names on these concepts, because there's no other way to describe greatness on a scale when we only reach the value of nothing on the creation level. Naga.
Deeper than that particular understanding, we're talking about the egoic mind of man when we say that we are this or we are this or we are that, and we have these different understandings to who we believe we are. And they don't subsequently it doesn't subsequently share the true full understanding of what divine is trying to show us. But because we feel like, even though we got tall people here and short people here and all the different values of imperfection, the perfect imperfection here in this existence, we all got the short man complex because the ego helps you live that out. You know what I mean? You believe more than you comprehend. So you think that you are more important, and your importance is real because you're a creation, but that doesn't set the motion of existence to stop at your feet to explain you as a particular value. It's only when you turn and you allow the divine energy to filter through you, and you can grow off of that and become something that serves a universe of masses of creation that's coming from the fact that you took the job, that you stood in the place of the job of filtering the divine energy out. But most people don't do that because they believe how man sees things, and this comes in the aspect of control. So then we end up condemning other filters and other aspects to a rhetoric of man's perception and understanding of divine pretense, which states to the fact of confusion. That is the dumbest shit in the world to me. Like, how can you think that where you sit in existence means anything to the process that's so large that it overshadows even the thought pattern of who you are? So for you to stop it and try to explain divine is almost the word people like to use, blasphemy in its own self. You know what I mean? Like, you can't explain that and then have that as an understanding just to say you want to feel special in a world that's a river. You know what I'm saying? The whole existence is a river. You know what I mean? It's like the flow of the etheric waters. Like, you need to be a part of the sediment or shut the fuck up, because at the end of the day, like, you're not going to do shit but get washed away with the process. Nothing you have to say is going to explain that understanding. And man don't know shit. So man can't tell you nothing about that. But if you are able to actually comprehend what divine is showing you, then you know your placement. Your placement is not to egotistically try to explain it or place yourself as some deifying energy until you rose within the processes of how divine is given that. And if you are satisfying yourself with personal understandings of life within this realm of existence, you are far from the understanding of what divine anything is. Period. Let's continue. We're going to go on to incremental science 14. This incremental science is based off self-awareness, the self-awareness scale. And what I just showed you in the beginning, incremental science 12. Did I do that right there? I know I did it right. 13 and 14. Hold on. Why is this 13? I was supposed to do 12 and 14. Hold on. Science 13. I thought it was 13. Oh, 14B. It's 14, but I put 14 at the bottom and it's 13 on this. Oh God. Whatever. You know what I mean? You get it. It is 14, okay? This is incremental 14. This is supposed to be 14A, and I put 13. I was so tired when I did most of these shits back in the day. I'll be messing up a little bit, but yeah, this is 14A. That's what it's supposed to say. So let's continue.
Incremental science 13. And you in the house. Incremental science 13. Are you in the house? What's going on? What? I loony crazy universal teacher here. Pete Astor. Connect you from here to the earth. I mean to the universes. All right, today we talking about this is the self-awareness scale of incremental science. And this is going to speak to how increments they cross you. Your incremental value actually crosses you from end to end of your hands and your head and your feet. That's where your incremental value of assessment for the systematic value to attach to you. It comes at you in these motions. These colors are symbolic to wave. each color each color wave represents a vibration. Okay, each color wave represents a different vibration that may be existent in your all around circumference, from your fingertips to your feet, top of your head. You feel all types of vibes. What's dope about this, the overall extension value, this is how this allows you to sense and get a clear understanding of what's going on. Unbeknownst to everybody else, you just feel stuff. You may feel it in your shoulder. You may you may feel like a vibration in your leg. How many people ever felt like your leg vibrating and you never had nothing in it, like a spot in your leg was vibrating? You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I show you these different incrementals is because the scale, it can vibrate from a certain point and wrap around you and end up in a different point. It can start at a different point, wrap around you, and end up in a different point. So forth and on, so forth and on, so forth and on. This is the value of how these increments attach to you, but they're not just attaching to you at one space. Even if even if something's happened in your leg, you can subsequently feel it in your arm. Something happened in your arms, you can feel it in your head. These are physical values to incremental. Hold on.
A few moments later.
Excuse me. I had to stop because, like I spoke at other bills, people don't have self control, and outside they just acting the donkey. So I didn't want to get all that sound in my presentation. But each incremental vibration may hit you somewhere in a different aspect, and because we are in a world, because everything spins at you, because it's hitting you in this particular vibration, it may wrap around and connect to different parts of you. That's because it's spiraling inside of you. So something may happen to your finger that you may feel in your leg later, that subsequently end up in your chest. It's a
And
different
what's in? Hold on. And what's important about understanding the frequencies? This is why it's called spirituality. It's really spiritual. It's really a spirituality. Like everything is spinning. Like I told you, it's going a horizontal spin and a vertical spin. So as the singularities or the black holes are sending this energy in a certain direction, they are spiraling at you, and they'll squeeze all the way down. Like you can imagine like a cone, right? So the cone is spinning, and as it's spinning, it's getting a fine point tip. So that fine point tip is literally going and finding the creations of existence, and it's hitting the individual creations. And this is where you get affected by life itself. You start feeling things that are happening in the universe, and depending on how well you are fine tuned into your creational aspect as what we call your body and your spiritual connection, then you can navigate that energy and understand what's happening to you. But majority of the time, people don't know what's going on, so they act erratic. They get upset. A lot of yelling and screaming. Chaos happens. You know what I mean? A lot of things happen in that nature because the power of the universal energy that is coming through you. And when it passes, majority of the time, people feel real stupid about things that they said or things that they done. They're like, damn, why did I even do that? Why was I acting like that? Like this, it pulls people into their true alignment. And then you really can see that the weakness of the physical understanding of the human creation in itself, that shows you and explains it and defines it as its true understanding. You know what I'm saying? So once you understand what's taking place and how the great mass of this energy is coming from the universe, it's literally at that point, you know what I mean, showing you the non-control that you have over your own life. Like, you don't control shit, but you believe you do. You know what I'm saying? You believe you're powerful, you believe you're great, you believe you're more than what the universe is doing. And this is where people fall short as far as understanding the universe and you. You know what I'm saying? I should write a book called The Universe and You. You know what I mean? But for the most part, that's the reality to that. You know what I mean? So these increments is showing you how it hits you on a certain scale, whether it's fine tuned, that point is literally hitting you, or it's hitting you in a larger aspect, like I was explaining, your hands, you know, your head, somewhere in your body. Let's continue.
They show you different parts of your body, like your ears, the bottom of your feet, your arms, how you can have acupuncture, or how the ears itself are symbolic to the whole ratio of your body, and how these things subsequently can be balanced out by you using acupuncture or tapping into a different value of meditation, um, flexing, stretching, bending, or focus.
That's basically speaking towards how the creation itself, us as a creation ourselves, we as human beings, we think the body is the full creation of what we are, when in fact your ear literally has pretty much the same makeup as your body. There are different parts in your body that explain other parts of your body. Like, you have a brain in your stomach and a brain in your head. You know what I'm saying? The bottom of your feet has points that control other parts of your body. Your hands have points that control different parts of the upper level of your head because they're moved. So you can control the pain in your brain from like a point in between your thumb and your index finger. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different points that exist that connect to other values, but we think we're one whole creation, when in fact you are a bunch of creations that came together as what we call a body. That's why it's called a body. It's a bunch of parts put together, and these are contracts that are made in between these different creations that are probably spawned out of somewhere in the universe, out of a different wave point. They're spawned there, and then they were granted the opportunity to have consciousness. So that consciousness that they had allowed them to sign a contract, to have it come together, coalesce together, to give you what we call a human body.
Now, I'm able to point this out because these things are happening on a daily basis. And if you look at yourself, you can actually pinpoint when certain things are hitting you and where it's hitting you at. As you get older, you feel this a lot more. You know how old people move around. They're like, oh, I can't do nothing. This hurt and this hurt at the same time. Like, yo, how your foot and your neck hurt? You know what I'm saying? How your left hip and your third ventricle hurt? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that value. It's like everything is swirling in at increments. But instead of you understanding this mechanic that's taking place, we run to a doctor, or we run try to stiff some ill natural processed, you know, placebo into your body, and just hope that it gives you the best interest. That is not self-control, that is not knowledge, and you are producing a bunch of people who will never take care of themselves. So you need to stop doing that first and foremost. Just running to somebody to fix every little thing you get, when you need to find out what's really going on with yourself. Ultimately, you have your own spiral energy of divine pretense that's always spiraling here. But as the outside world pretenses come in and they're hitting you at different increments, they are attaching to this energy and they are reconfiguring your characteristic traits. This is how you change amongst to the system of things when they take place. They reconfigure your divine energy with outside sources. This is why you're always looking outside of you. But if you can watch how particular energies, whether they serve good or bad, from different increments, and where they come in to serve you, whether you're getting excited in sexual activity, whether you're getting excited in solar plex activity, or lower chakra activity, or your heart activity, or your muscular activity, or your throat activity, or your mind activity, whether any one of these vibrations are being strengthened or given a boost of energy from outside or universal sources, you should be able to pick up on where it's coming from, in particular to your personal value. You should know if you are being enticed by this level of knowledge from universal principle, or you're being enticed by this level of knowledge from physical understanding. You should have the difference and understand these pretenses and know how to separate them. So therefore, you can allow certain things to come in and certain things to stay out. Therefore, you can gain the knowledge that builds a better protection around oneself, thus strengthening the overall auric field of your individual circumference, allowing you to move and be a better individual. Speaks to all frequencies, speaks to all frequencies connected on particular values. That's every single one of these vibrations.
And see, for the most part, you only explain it as the energies hit you. So if you are used to explaining things and an understanding of, oh, this hurt, this happened, I got a headache today, I feel like I don't want to be around nobody right now. Oh, well, I'm bothered this way or this, that, and the third. These are the universal energies actually hitting you, and they're hitting you in a particular way to where you're supposed to adjust to the fact of what emotion that's being propagated at the moment. So whatever emotion is coming up, you know what I'm saying, whether it's via from where you're standing at and what you're dealing with around you, or if you're not around nobody and it's just coming out of nowhere and you just happen to be feeling some type of way through that day, this is how the universal energies are hitting you in your particular existence. And once you start understanding that, then you can get more self-control over your connection to the universe, because you know it's being fed from a place, and that's a blockage in you. This is why you actually feel it in your arm, or you feel it in your leg, or you feel it in your foot, or you feel it in this, or you feel it in that. Like these different understandings, that's because it's a block right there that's stopping that frequency from going, and it's causing a little irritation, which subsequently can end up being a headache, can be a stomach ache, can be an irritation, can be, I don't like this right now, I don't like that right now. This is how it goes through. So until we understand about clearing blockages that we literally put into ourselves, because you want to have something that, you know, that whole will aspect, you know, do what you will, you know what I mean, your will is how you move through earth, when in fact you are creation under the guise of the universe. So how do you feel the need to have any extra control over the understanding of what you're dealing with? This is a false reality. So once you understand that reality in itself, then you can start controlling how you feel, opposed to the frequencies that are coming through the universe. And then you can literally put that into understanding to where when it hits you again, you have cleared out that blockage and allow that to flow through. You are a nuclear plant that's filtering frequencies. And if you don't understand that you have to filter this frequency out, then ultimately you're gonna have ultimately you're going to have issues with these blockages inside of your being, because you don't know how to filter them out. And before the frequency hits you, you've already kind of sold yourself short by digesting materialistic values, when you are a materialistic value within itself. And before we got conjuncted to having the addiction factor, or being addicted to things that man create, we didn't have none of that. You know, we can live off of the light of the universe, the force of the air, and the blood of the creation, which is water. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that literally sustained us through our understanding, until we started falling victim to the creation of man. and devouring ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't understand that the melanin, the universal melanin that you absorb is literally the lifeblood of everything in existence, then what are you doing with your existence, right? You know what I mean? And we know we have to sustain life, but it's not about what you do, it's how you do it, right? So let's continue. Probably going to bring this to an end real quick. I think we're almost at the end.
Speaks to all frequencies on its own particular value. So I'm not speaking to somebody in particular. I'm not saying you got a problem, they got a problem. Hey, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to everybody, it's a good thing to be aware of how things approach you and how they come into your existence, whether or not you are in control of that or you are unseen to that control. If you can master this within yourself, you build a stronger field around yourself that allows you to be more protected than you have ever been. I ain't gonna hold you. Incremental Science 13. You already know the vibes. Naga. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And if I'm helping you, information is always downstairs. Deuces.
So with that being said, you always have the opportunity to do better as the controller of your world, your ship. And it's not about the things you say or how you say them. It's not about how sharp you are or none of that. It's how well you understand your connection with the universe and how these things are hitting you. If you're putting all your thoughts into the mundane world of reality, then you're really missing your existence in itself. That's why I want to always question people about spirituality. I'm always like, are you sure you're really spiritual? Do you really believe you're into spirituality? Like, I always ask people that because people are going to give you their understanding. And before I go back and forth with you to try to explain spirituality to you, I want to know what you think you understand about it. And automatically, most people believe that these understandings are apartheid to the level of intelligence that you have, and that has nothing to do with it. Like, you really have to like back away from what you know and re-know things. And if you don't want to re-know anything, you're going to be mixed in. It's like a tornado coming through, lifting you up and throwing your ass clear across the damn state. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get picked up in Albuquerque and end up in Miami and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, how you got over there? The tornado threw me. That's how the wave force or the frequencies do. They'll hit you, and then you end up in one feeling, and then you're in a whole nother feeling later. You know what I'm saying? This shit gets really, really, really deep. So with that being said, I ain't trying to hold you. I'm just trying to show you something. I am Naga, the incremental science creator. You already know the vibes. By way of the divine. Divine allowed me to create this for you, to show you an understanding. And as soon as I can get into a better situation other than what I'm in, a better living situation, then I'm going to create another 33 classes. I already have them downloaded into my mind. Divine has already given them to me, and it's going to be something to see. But I need your support. I need your support. I need you to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I need you also to support. The information is always in the description or on the screen. And if you're enjoying what I'm bringing to you and it helps you in some way, please do so. Support. All support is welcome and helped. With that being said, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm just trying to show you something. Naga. The art of being yourself retreat. This is the art of being yourself retreat, a women's intensive well-being retreat on May 16th through the 19th in Peoria, Arizona. This retreat is dedicated to healing and empowering women. You'll dive deep into the intrapersonal healing, self-reflection, and self-care practices to transform your mind, body, and soul. For more information, call 844-378-2692 or visit www.drtanyagilbert.com.
With the affirmations to enjoy your day with. I am who masters me. I embody mastery. Naga's rising cavalry. The netters are my battery. I got my discipline. My source comes from within. Root chakra grounded in the cosmos so infinite. Nagas through my veins. Currencies flow through ligaments. Another netter instrument. Manifest me dividends. I'm on my mastery. Self-doubt is blasphemy. I'm the God I ask for me. Connected to my astral dream. I summon other beings. All facets of me. Magician card my meaning. My purpose is the alchemy. I am numero uno, Raishi on my mind, Lion's mane, big on sumo, Babalao aligned with Pluto. We kick back like judo, karma licks back from Pluto. Heart on a feather, that represents my new growth. Trusting me is crucial, the God in me a do show. I'm bigger than your economics, politics, and Google. My omnipresence is the true show, all the world is stage. Allow my authentic self to be the sage. Fumigating parasites all up in my space. Cause I am who masters me. I embody mastery. I'm bigger than indoctrinations. Naga's rising cavalry. I am who masters me. I embody mastery. I'm bigger than the situation. Netters are my battery. I am who masters me. I embody mastery. Naga's rising cavalry. The netters are my battery.